Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I'm Dr. Brian, and I'm so thankful that you've joined me here. We're going to have a quick presentation so that you can upgrade yourself for 2024. We're going to go over a quick we're going to go over a quick 5-step program to help you upgrade yourself in 2024. And you can start right now by joining me in a 12-week program for yourself to master emotions and focus on how you can absolutely master emotions. So, what we're going to focus on is mental fitness and what you can do to take a step up. So, very quickly, what is mental fitness? Mental fitness is your capacity to respond to life's challenges with a positive rather than negative mindset. So, when curveballs happen, when you get constant small little changes that upset your routine, communication issues at work or at home that keep repeating over and over, where you feel like you're not getting your point across, or maybe just your frustration level is increasing rather than decreasing. And so, what is the impact of adopting mental fitness? It is simply this: it is peak performance. It's helping you take a step up, how to be the best version of yourself on a regular day-to-day basis. It's peace of mind and wellness. It's approaching problems with empathy, creativity, and a focus on how to be your best self, and having better, healthy relationships. So just kind of picture yourself. What would it be like to reduce the day-to-day struggle, angst, frustration, and anger of the same curveballs that keep repeating themselves? So that's what I'm going to share with you today. And we're going to go over a 5-step model on how to do that. So the model works simply like this. And what we're going to start with is, we're having a little bit of difficulty. There we go. So, 5-step process. Step 1, create a vision for yourself. Create a vision for yourself. What does that mean? Where are you going, and where are you headed? What does the version of yourself look like? How do you want to show up on a regular basis, day to day? What changes would you like to make in 2024 so that you are different? Different in terms of taking a step up and being your best self. So, what does that look like for you related to how you want to show up? Is the vision of yourself at home and at work working for you? Do you like how you're interacting with family, friends, coworkers, bosses, team members? Or would you like to be able to handle issues with a calmer approach, what we call in mental fitness sage thinking. So creating a vision of yourself. Do you have your own personal vision statement? For myself, my goal is simple: help people take a step up from where they're operating right now. I've always been driven in my career to help people take the steps necessary to optimize their communication, their inner game of leadership, their outer game of leadership. And so that's what creating a vision for yourself can look like, is writing out a plan and starting to implement it. What do you want to get for yourself personally and professionally? It's kind of like a company mission statement, but creating a vision statement for you. And you can have fun with this. You can have each of your family members create a vision statement for yourself. And you can have people review that with you. Of course, when you jump into this coaching program, and I'll show you the details in a few minutes of what you'll get. So creating a vision for yourself is step one in taking an upgrade and changing how you operate in 2024. Next step is, what actions will you take to upgrade yourself and match that vision statement? So what frequently happens is we have these emotional saboteurs. Now, this is backed by 25 years of research from Stanford University and positive intelligence. These are what sabotage us in terms of following through with goals. So if you've ever wondered what happens when you set a goal, many people, what are the most common January 2024 goals? Can anybody comment on what is the number one growth business in January of every year? It's remarkable. And I have done this myself. It's gym memberships. Gym membership business explodes in January and then starts tailing in a downward trend throughout the year, because we get excited about something and then our emotional saboteurs take over. So we have 10 of those. The overall one, the judge. You may be listening to this presentation and saying, oh, it's another program, or it's another coaching offer. And yes, it is. This one's different, because when you reduce the impact of that judge, that negative critic that questions everything you jump into, well, you're going to be capable of starting and finishing projects more often. So you can take a free quiz at positiveintelligence.com to discover your saboteurs: controller, hyperachiever, restless, pleaser. Let's talk about a couple of those. So what does the pleaser do? Your role as pleaser, if that's one of your top saboteurs, is you're always stepping out to help each other. You're stepping out to get people happy, except unconsciously you want something back. Not that it's transactional. It's not a business transaction. But if I help my wife out with the dishes, with cooking, with the grandkids, and I do that consistently, and I don't communicate what do I want back from that, what am I looking for? And it can be just a simple comment. But if I don't state my expectations, and that's what happens, these emotional saboteurs stop you from communicating effectively. So it's as simple as, hey, honey, if I do these things, can you help me out with these other tasks or plans? And it's consistently communicating what you want, not in a I want, give me, I need mode, but in an equal communication where when you state expectations consistently, when you step into your best self, you'll be able to follow up, follow through, reduce those tensions that constantly perk up or pop up, sort of like a coffee maker, right? So if you're thinking about what happens in communication while I'm doing this discussion with you, can you think about what goes on in your relationships at home and at work where conflicts or tension keep repeating over and over and over? So the first step in reducing those is, if I create a vision of what I want, what do I want of myself? Where am I going and where am I headed? And then you include family members in planning that. They may be more willing to support you. When you create a family or relationship vision statement, where do I want to go with my relationship with my wife? What do we want to reinvent, recreate, re-energize? How do I want to interact with my kids or grandchildren better or optimize? And then what action steps can I take? Well, the first action step I'm asking you to take is you can go to positiveintelligence.com, take the free saboteur quiz, and email me the results. And I'll be happy to schedule a free chat, no pressure, to go over how are those saboteurs impacting you. And so what happens when you have the voice of the saboteurs, the controller, the pleaser, the judge, the hypervigilant, you can get in sabotage mode where you're surviving, you're just grinding day to day. You lose the day-to-day enjoyment in your daily activities, your life, your communication, your relationships. And how we show up is with anxiety, tension, disappointment. For instance, I have a high controller, hypervigilant saboteur mode. And so this morning, I had a hiccup with my landing page to make this coaching offer. Well, I've already been talking about doing this. I could have said, oh, I won't bother. Instead, you can email me and we can have a discussion, or you can text me, as you see in the banner below, and happy to have a conversation with you on how mental fitness can help you take a step up in 2024. What's really great in this program is when you go from saboteur mode, judge, critic, hypervigilant, pleaser, you switch to thriving rather than just survival. And what happens is when problems come up, you respond in a positive way. Empathy towards others. Curiosity. I wonder why my wife responded like that. I wonder what's going on with my grandkids, why they're acting this way. How can I have creativity to solve this issue? How can I resolve conflicts in a calm, clear voice? Now, what's really great is this is not therapy. This is rewiring your emotional mindset. So I'd like you to memorize this statement. My emotions are temporary. My emotions will pass through me. I am not my emotions. I am me. You're not anger. You're not hypervigilant. You're you. I'm Brian. I'm not pleaser. I'm not self-sabotage. I'm myself. I like helping people take a step up. So I'm clear on who I am and where I'm going. And what happens in this program that I'm offering you is for 8 weeks, 7 days a week, 4 times a day for 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 4 times a day, you will do some positive quotient, as we call it, reps to explore how do each of the saboteurs impact how you communicate, operate at work, perform at home, communicate in your relationships. So 4 times a day for 2 minutes, you will feel a shift in how you react to life's curveballs. See, many of us, I'm in controller mode. I try to, or used to try to, how do I get people to respond the way I want? How do I get these things to work out this way? And curveballs keep happening. Or I kept questioning, how do other people keep us, frankly, I'd get angry, screwing things up. Well, it's not them. I can't change other people. I can change how I react to those curveballs. I can change how I focus on getting the results that I want. Here's another statement I'd like you to memorize. When you change how you react to other people, they are forced to change how they react to you. So when you do not respond with anger, frustration, controlling, or pleaser mode, and you react with empathy, creativity, gratitude, peace of mind, over a few weeks, you will notice an immediate change in how you're handling stress, anxiety, tensions, and you will notice an immediate change in how others begin responding to you. And that tension level goes from way up top to lowering. Now, we don't eliminate stress. I don't eliminate life's problems. Mental fitness doesn't wave a magic wand. What it does is change how you show up in the world. So, step one, we're creating a vision for ourselves. How do we want to be? Where do we want to go? We're creating action steps to take that path. How are we going to get there? Next is decide, what do I want to upgrade in myself? So I'll call that you 2.0 or even you 3.0. This is your opportunity to reboot. Reboot relationships, reboot your health, reboot your outlook on day-to-day life. And so I will share with you, in this process, when I went through it, it has allowed me to have a happier relationship with my wife, have a happier relationship with my grandkids. I show up at work differently. I coach differently with a different outlook. And that's coming out of having high tension conflicts and arguments on a regular basis. And that has shifted. Now, I can share with you testimonial after testimonial. I'm not going to bore you with that. Again, I'd be happy to share those testimonials, have a conversation with you about how this program will impact you. But I can tell you that I'm coaching a group of 8 people right now, and I will share 2 testimonials. A colleague of mine, Mark, who's gone through the program, already has had his boss say, "What's different about you?" Mark was showing up to work daily, angry, frustrated, snapping at coworkers. Now, when you're in sales, that's a difficult situation because sales is all about you and your personality and your behaviors. So Mark, in 3 weeks, his boss said, "What's different? What are you doing differently?" And I'm going to be having a conversation with Mark's boss right after the Christmas holidays. So mental fitness helps you make the shift, and people around you will notice the difference. It motivates you through negative emotions when you stay in saboteur mode. When you stay in saboteur mode, you're not upgrading. You're just grinding through. You become frustrated. Now, for me, what happens when grinding? Now, I haven't done this in 7 years. If you don't know me and this is your first opportunity to be with me in a webinar or coaching, I've kept 187 pounds off for 7 years now. I lost a whole person. And when I would get angry and frustrated and problems just kept repeating over and over, my go-to were the best foods available: pizza, candy, bread. And that's not a good way to keep weight off. And so I was wondering, why aren't people buying my motivational programs? And one of my friends pointed out, at 380 pounds, 380 pounds, it's not really going to work out for you as a motivational speaker. And so I'm sure you will all agree, From here to here, neck up, Henry Winkler or George Clooney. At least that's the version of me that I like to notice. And it's okay if you don't agree with that. So what happens is you make a shift. So now I don't operate in saboteur mode. I operate in sage mode. What's the best food for me to be eating? What serves my health goals? How do I fuel myself to keep burning fat and stay energized through the day? And that's what mental fitness and positive intelligence can do for you. So, step one, create a vision statement for yourself. Who are you? What do you do? Who do you do it for? How do those people around you benefit by you being you, how you're showing up? That's a vision statement. Take some action steps. Let's discover those saboteurs. How do those saboteurs negatively impact you, and how can you overcome them? Upgrade yourself. Now, you 2.0 or you 3.0, how do you want to shift communication-wise, behavior-wise, health-wise, work, relationships? What changes do you want to make? And share those with family, friends, and colleagues. When you write it and state it, it's easier to take action. And what mental fitness does is help allow you to shift from grinding survival mode to growth mode. It's very different when you have high conflict with someone, if you're working with them regularly or you live with them daily, to shift out of anger, frustration, get back, resentment. And so the process of shifting to sage mode comes from practicing daily exercises, 2 minutes a day, 4 times a day. Very easy to do. And almost everybody I know going through this program with me, and of course there's 250,000 other testimonials I can share with you, report that they're feeling better within the first week. Their approach daily, their stress level has dropped. Next, optimize your environment. What simple things can you do to make yourself feel better in your home or work environment? So in my home office, I've changed the lighting. I've changed the chair that I sit in. I've changed the webcam that I use. So what can you do to optimize your environment at home? What simple changes can you make to optimize your environment in the workplace with whatever you're allowed to do? Simple changes result in great impact. Simple changes, 1% a week. And if you focus on 1% change a week, it keeps multiplying and multiplying, and you get better and better. Do I have setbacks? Yes. Do I get frustrated and angry? Yes. But it doesn't stick. I don't grind through anger for weeks and weeks or hours and hours. I shift into sage mode and get out of that. Now, of course, because I've kept the weight off, I also use the gym and stretch bands and walks. Part of optimizing your environment. How often do you go outside and just get some sunlight, natural sunlight? How often do you just take your shoes and socks off and walk in dirt or grass? If you can do that 2 to 3 times a week for a few minutes, you will absolutely notice a difference in how you feel. So, 5-step program. Create a vision statement. What strategic actions are you going to take to implement that vision statement? What do you want to do to upgrade yourself? What changes do you want to make on 8 different dimensions: health, relationships, work? Optimize your environment. And now, as we're running out of time, because I promised everybody I'd only do a half hour, the key to you operating in mental fitness or sage mode or just taking a step up. Master your emotions. Don't let your emotions control you. Don't let your emotions control you. When you let your emotions of anger, frustration, self-sabotage you, when you let the idea of people are rolling over me and I'm not getting what I want, pleaser mode, when you are stuck in victim mode, why are these things rolling downhill on me? Why are things consistently going wrong? It's very difficult to even get into how can I be happy? You know, it's very funny. So coming from a health perspective, I used to get angry at 380 pounds when someone would say, all you have to do to lose weight is exercise more and eat less. Well, if that were the case, we wouldn't have an obesity problem worldwide. So it's a little more involved in that. But the absolute key, if you don't sign up with me, that's okay. If you want to have a free consult, let's at least chat. This is how I help people take a step up. Master your emotions. When you can overcome anger, frustration, victim role, pleaser mode, controller mode, and come out from a perspective of creativity, empathy for others, problems begin to solve themselves. You will notice a change in how you step up and show up. So what I would love to do is have a consult with you. Absolutely my fault for having a landing page that just did not come out the way I wanted. So please email me, brian@drbrianspeaks.com, and just put free consult. Give me your contact information and I'd be happy to show you how mental fitness can help you in 8 weeks. Start now. And that way you jumpstart 2024. You'll be way ahead of the pack and ahead of yourself. You can also text me, 818-939-9426. I'd love to have a conversation with you. Thank you for joining me. And again, mental fitness coaching program with me, 8 weeks to learn the operating system to help you upgrade. And I'm adding on 6 more weeks so you make the habits permanent. So in 15 weeks, you'll be able to stick with a plan that absolutely will optimize yourself, how you show up at home and at work. Thank you so much for joining me live. I really appreciate everybody who hopped on. And again, if you have questions, comments, send me a text or email me, brian@drbrianspeaks.com or 818-939-9426. Be happy to help you out and help you jumpstart yourself to a better end of 2023 and optimize 2024 so you show up as the best version of yourself. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend.